It's clearly a prison, but all the beautiful women are fighting to get in, even willing to pay tens of millions for a spot. All to become obedient female inmates. This is all because, after the world's water sources were contaminated, 99% of people who drank the water turned into zombies. But I survived by working as a security guard in an abandoned prison building, and I even activated the advanced prison system. As long as I take in high-scoring beauties as inmates, I can earn year coins. These year coins can be exchanged for food, guns, supernatural abilities, and other items, and can also be used to unlock or upgrade different areas of the prison. Right now, I'm looking at the 10,000 year coins the system just gave me. I was thinking about what I should exchange for. Since everything is currently at level 1, there aren't many things I can get. For example, the level 1 cafeteria only allows me to exchange for basic foods like bread and bottled water, and the level 1 warden's office only has a handgun available. When I saw the handgun, I was delighted and quickly spent 50 year coins to get it. Anyone who's been through a zombie apocalypse knows that this thing is a real lifesaver in the early days. After getting a weapon, the next step is to recruit female inmates. Just as I was thinking about how to advertise, a sudden voice sounded. Stranger detected approaching the prison. The system asked if I wanted to install a main gate surveillance camera, costing 5 year coins each. After all, safety comes first, so I chose to install it right away. The feed quickly connected, and I saw 5 or 6 people outside the gate. When I noticed the faces of 2 women among them, I felt a spark of interest. Looked like the first batch of inmates has arrived. Anyone here? That's odd. I've never heard of a sticky women's prison here. Forget about the main prison. Let's just go in and hide for now. Hearing this, I smiled slightly and opened the small side door. What do you want? The leader, an old lady in her 60s, poked half her body inside. Young men, move aside. We need to come in and take shelter. Seeing this, I slapped her right away. This is private property. Get out. I calmly stood inside the door, glancing over the people in front of me. Name, Shin Shireen, age, 30. Newlywed, attractiveness score 88, meets requirements. Name, Zhang Jiro, age 26, abandoned by ex-boyfriend, attractiveness score 85, meets requirements. As expected, these 2 fit criteria, system's taste matches mine. I thought. An old man walked over. Young man, but there are monsters outside biting people. You must let us in. Why should I let you in? This is private property. I suddenly changed tone. This is a women's prison. Men can't come in, but women can. Only 2 can enter. I pointed at Qin Shireen and Zhang Jiro. Qin Shireen's husband was next to her. The men with glasses' face darkened. These are extraordinary times. If you don't let us in, don't blame us for getting rough. Alright, go ahead and try. The men with glasses glared at me, then suddenly blocked the door. Everyone, get in. Before he could finish, a cold pistol was pressed against his forehead. Try moving again. The men with glasses immediately squatted, cold sweat pouring. He didn't dare to gamble on whether the gun was real or not. Just then, Qin Shireen walked over and tugged at his sleeve. Her husband's meaning was clear, don't try to be a hero. Unexpectedly, that tug only fueled the men with glasses' anger. Kid, I don't believe that's a real gun, and I don't believe you dared to shoot. Before he could finish speaking, the gun went off, and the bullet grazed the man with glasses' cheek. I intended to kill him with 1 shot, but after learning that Qin Shireen was his fiancée, I changed my mind. If I killed him, it might be troublesome to win over Qin Shireen. Zombies. Zombies are coming. Suddenly, Zhang Jiro's scream drew everyone's attention. A zombie staggered out. The auntie who had been slapped turned around, her face going pale with fright, and she rushed toward the prison, shouting, "Let me in, let me in." I didn't hesitate and shot her directly. With that shot, the scene became chaotic. Qin Shireen reacted, taking advantage of the moment to pull the men with glasses into a bus to hide. I narrowed my eyes. I couldn't let the girl in my grasp escape, so I shot out all 4 bus tires. The gunshots attracted more zombies, leaving only Zhang Jiro at the entrance. Are you coming in or not? Zhang Jiro was terrified, zombies on one side, a man with a gun on the other. Anyone with sense would choose. Let me in, I want to go into the prison. I smiled, pulled Zhang Jiro into the compound, then shot a deep look at Qin Shireen in the bus window. Behind the glass was her frightened, beautiful face. I laughed coldly, she'd be begging to come in soon. After closing the iron gate, I turned to Zhang Jiro. Alright, you're in the prison now. You're safe. Zhang Jiro was still nervous. Is it really safe here? Don't worry, it's absolutely safe. But you have to follow the rules. Zhang Jiro glanced at my tall figure, bit her lower lip, and nodded gently. Took Zhang Jiro back into the prison. Right past the main gate was the changing room. Since it was a first-level changing room, the decor and furnishings were very simple. Since you've chosen to stay in my prison, there are some rules I have to tell you. This is a women's prison, and from now on, you're my prisoner. And as a prisoner, the most important thing is to obey. If you can't do that, you can leave right now. Hearing this, Zhang Jiro quickly shook her head. Don't make me leave, I'll behave. Then I handed her a set of women's prison clothes. Now, your first order is to change clothes. As a prisoner, you're not allowed to bring any personal belongings into the prison. As I spoke, I couldn't help but admire the so-called prison uniform. This wasn't a prison uniform at all, it was clearly a black and white JK outfit. How was anyone supposed to wear this? Zhang Jiro's pretty face flushed. I'm already an adult, how can I wear a JK uniform? But when she saw the pistol at my waist, after a few seconds, she silently took the clothes, then lowered her head and said, I need to change. Can you step outside for a moment? Don't worry, I'm not interested in watching you change. But I do need to check if you've been bitten by zombies. Zhang Jiro almost burst into tears when she heard that. She wanted to argue, but couldn't find a suitable reason. And so, 10 minutes later, Zhang Jiro finished changing. Scan complete. Qualified female prisoner detected. Name bound, Zhang Jiro. Attractiveness score, 85. Daily reward, 85 Nian coins. Nian coin balance, 10,015. Obedience, 28. Please increase as soon as possible. As long as someone who meets the requirements enters the prison and puts on the prison uniform, they're automatically considered bound. This obedience score is a bit low. There are many ways to increase obedience in prison, such as unlocking the interrogation hall and the torture chamber. For example, upgrading the cafeteria so they can eat better food, but that costs coins, so I need another way. After that, I brought Zengjiro to cell block 1. Every bed here had a pillow and bedding. Besides that, there was just a wash basin and a basic squat toilet, no other facilities. Although simple, in a zombie apocalypse, a place like this could be paradise. Sure enough, Zengjiro didn't think it was bad. Instead, she seemed relieved, because everything in front of her clearly showed this really was a prison. But just then, as I stood behind her, I pulled out my pistol and pressed it against the back of her head. Now I order you, don't turn around, and don't make a sound. Did you hear me clearly? Zengjiro trembled, her shoulders and limbs shaking, but she nodded at Zhao Huafu. I continued, if you can't obey, I will throw you out to feed those zombies. Zengjiro trembled more violently. Her legs could barely support her, but she didn't forget my order not to make a sound, so she desperately nodded. I noticed this woman's obedience level was skyrocketing from 28 to 60. A faint smile appeared. 20 minutes later, Zengjiro's obedience reached 85. I was very satisfied. Zengjiro was completely obedient. You've passed. You can speak now. From now on, this is yours. I'll call you when it's time to eat. Zengjiro finally broke down sobbing, and her obedience rose. It was a prison, yet beautiful women fought together, willing to pay millions to be inmates. The world's water was contaminated, 99% turned to zombies. I survived as a security guard in an abandoned prison, activating the advanced prison system. Taking high-scoring beauties as inmates earns Nian coins, exchangeable for food, guns, abilities, and prison upgrades. After subduing Zengjiro, I returned to my office. Watching Zengjiro looking lonely in prison through surveillance, I decided to find her more companions. I took out my phone, opened the Tianhai University group chat. First, I changed my name to Nian Women's Prison Warden, then posted photos of food and water supplies, with a caption, "Our prison recruits beautiful women, food and drink provided, unlimited. Interested? DM full body photo, no beauty filters. Note, only beauties, no dinosaurs." Students in the group chat went wild. Did someone from our group get an *****? Recruiting beauties. That's so lame. Is this really Nian from class 3 to 2? Why aren't you dead yet? Did the apocalypse scare you so much you lost your mind? The insults flooded in. Hearing all this, I just chuckled to myself. The more people cursed me, the more friend requests I got, both guys and girls. I scrolled through them one by one, and suddenly, a name popped up, Suing Xue. My eyes lit up. She was one of 3 campus goddesses of Tianhai University. I immediately accepted her request. Soon, Suing Xue sent me a message. "Nian Ci, is that you? Your warden. Sue, the campus beauty, wants to get locked up. Our dorm wants in. Anyone who wants to join, send photos." Suing Xue sent 4 photos. Name, Suing Xue, age, 21, attractiveness, 93 points. Sue, campus beauty, your warden is on the way. Zhang Xiaowen, Dong Jing, and Meng Meng, their scores weren't low. The goddess's roommates are no ordinary people. Others also added me as a contact. I finalized a list of over 20 female college students who met the requirements. No more talking, time to head out. I went downstairs and used 1,000 annual coins to exchange for a level 1 prison transport vehicle. The prison bus had 20 seats, like a city bus, but it could hold more than 20 people. 50 wouldn't be a problem if squeezed. I slowly drove the prison bus out, but hadn't gone far before seeing a coach bus ahead. It was Qin Shiring's group. Their tire had blown out, so they couldn't run. Though Qin Shiring was on my mind, now wasn't the time, so I headed straight for building 1 of the women's dorm at Tianhai University. Suing Xue had given me the location. After driving for over an hour, I arrived at the school gate. I drove straight to the girls' dorm, knowing the way well. On the way, I saw a group of guys, 7 or 8 of them, carrying iron rods and wooden planks. They were heading out to scavenge supplies. When they saw the prison bus, the short-haired guy leading them frantically waved for me to stop, but I ignored them and stepped on the gas, speeding off. The guys chased after me for a bit, but soon gave up. "President, didn't you see that crappy bus? What's going on? Why didn't it stop?" He narrowed his eyes, looking in the direction the prison bus had disappeared, then spoke. "If I were the driver, I wouldn't stop. Did you notice? Words on that bus." "Yeah, I saw it. Nian Women's Prison." A short guy said it was in the school group chat. Someone named Nian Ci said his prison only takes in beautiful women. Damn, if we could get into that prison, and it's all women, wouldn't that be heaven? The others gathered. "President, the distance from here to the girls' dorm is about the same as going to the supermarket. Let's skip the supermarket. How about we just go straight to find the bus?" Agreed. The group changed direction and, relying on their instincts, followed the prison bus from a distance. On the other side, I slammed on the brakes and stopped right at the main entrance of girls' dormitory building number 3. Through the car window, I saw a circle of zombies surrounding the entrance. I grabbed my pistol and fired off a series of shots, and soon all the zombies were down. Just then, I heard a noise from the 2nd floor. Is that the official rescue team? A girl with ponytail pushed open the window and called out softly, "This is the prison bus from Nian Women's Prison. I can only take 20 people, first come, first served, and if you're ugly, don't bother coming." I added that through the car window, then sent a message to the girls I'd contacted earlier. Of course, the first one was Suing Xue. "Do you think I'm okay?" the ponytailed girl called out again. I looked up at her. Name, Lu Shuangshuang. Age, 19. Looks, 86 points. You meet the requirements. I gave her a thumbs up. "Come on down." Hearing this, Lu Shuangshuang quickly sprang into action. In no time, she came down the stairs. There were some zombies in the hallway, but not many. As long as they didn't get too close, they could still make it out. At first, Lu Shuang moved very cautiously, afraid of making any noise that might alert the zombies. But when she saw the bus parked at the entrance with its back door open, she got excited and dashed forward without a second thought. Just then, a zombie appeared on the east side of the hallway. The zombie, drawn by the sound, turned to Lu Shuang. Startled, she screamed, fully alerting it. It shuffled toward her. I raised my pistol, aiming, shouting, "Get down." But before I finished, Lu Shuang dropped. 2 shots rang out, the zombie collapsed. This was the first girl I'd rescued at the school, so I had to establish an image. Stick with me, you'll be safe. After ensuring no more zombies, I told Lu Shuang, "You can get up now." Get in the car. Lu Shuang was scared, trembling, drained. "I can't get up." "Brother Jiang, help me," she stammered. No, I refused. "Crawl over." Okay, Lu Shuang nodded, slowly crawled to the prison van. After effort, she climbed in. I looked at her, lips dry, tossed a water bottle from the driver's seat. "Here, drink." "Plenty." Lu Shuang's eyes lit up. She grabbed the bottle, gulped it down. Since the red mist, tap water was dark red, undrinkable. She finished the bottle quickly. Lu Shuang licked her lips, then looked timidly at Nian Ci. Brother Nian, more water." Hearing this, I pulled out another bottle, but didn't hand it over. "Call your prettiest friends and have them come to jail with you. Then this bottle is yours. Brother Nian's place is super safe, and there's water." Lu Shuang sent messages, and soon, 3 women appeared at the door. 2 scored 86 and 87, meeting requirements, but the third was a 180 gene, about 90 kilograms, tank. The 3 women tiptoed down. Seeing the prison van, especially the water bottle in Lu Shuang's hand, their eyes lit up. Immediately, they ran toward the van. That tank, Lu Yuan, was in the middle, but at the last moment, dodged aside, darting to the front. "Water, water, I want water." "Get down." "My prison doesn't want you." Lu Yuan grinned, looking at me with a mix of confusion and anger. "Why?" "Because the prison is mine." My answer was simple and direct. "If you take one more step forward, I'll show you just how tough things can get." Hearing this, Lu Yuan could only stand there, feeling aggrieved. At this point, more and more people started arriving. Some were contacted earlier by Nianzi on Green Bubble, and others came down on their own after hearing the commotion. I picked out 18 in a row, calling over all the pretty ones, and now the total number had exceeded 20. Seeing this, I handed Lu Shuang a bottle of mineral water. "This is your reward." I want everyone to know, at Nian Women's Prison, rewards and punishments are clear-cut. Since Lu Shuang helped call over 2 beauties, she deserved a reward. Immediately, some quick-witted girls started moving closer to Lu Shuang. "How do you get this reward?" "Just message your prettiest friends and have them come over." The girl responded with puzzled "Oh," then looked at Nian Ci. "Brother Nian, if my friends come over, do they get water to drink?" I glanced in the rearview mirror. This was a girl who scored a 90 out of 100, named Shinjinga, the prettiest among the girls in a car. "Not yet, don't send the message. There's no more room in the car. Wait until I drop you all off at the prison, then I'll come back." Shinjinga put down her phone a bit disappointed, then leaned in close to me. "Brother, but I'm really thirsty. How about you give me a bottle of water first?" "Don't worry, I know lots of pretty girls." Looking at her lovely face right in front of me, I reached out and touched Shinjinga's cheek. Instead, she leaned closer. Seeing this, I laughed, took out water. "Thirsty? Here, drink." "Thank you, brother." Other quick-reacting girls came over, calling brother, non-stop. I rewarded those who flattered me. Another dozen girls came, but Suing Shiwa hadn't shown. Sighing, ready to drive back to prison, I glimpsed figures. I narrowed my eyes, the same guys who tried to stop the car earlier, holding weapons. They followed us, up to no good. I wasn't afraid and shouted. I shouted, "If those punks come any closer, they're dead." But instead of stopping, they sped up and charged for the car door. In an instant, I leapt out of the car, drew my gun, and transformed. In a few steps, I emptied the magazine. The short-haired guy, farthest away, got lucky, the bullets grazed his cheeks. Terrified, the short-haired guy looked at his fallen roommates, bolted, fleeing the scene in a flash. Seeing this, I sneered, but I didn't chase a cornered enemy, I know that principle. Just as I was about to get back in the car, 4 girls came down the stairs. Suing Shiwa, with her 3 roommates following behind her. If nothing unexpected had happened, I probably wouldn't have seen this woman today. I wasn't about to fuss over her being late, let's chalk it up to fate's arrangement. Does anyone know how to drive? I asked the group of girls. Suing Shiwa answered, "I do. After I graduated high school, my family had me get a driver's license. They bought me a small car, so I've been driving for over a year now." I nodded. Suing Shiwa knows how to show her value. I smiled, pulled out bread, and said, "Then you'll be my driver." "Not right now. There's nothing I can do about it. After all, her obedience level hasn't reached 90 yet, so I can't assign her a prison job. Still, this bread and sausage count as a big reward for the staff. Anyone with ability will be rewarded." Seeing this, Suing Shiwa was secretly delighted. This stuff might not have meant much before, but for someone who's been hungry all day, it's a real delicacy. Not just her, the other girls' eyes had been glued to it all day too. Most of them hadn't eaten a single grain of rice, and after drinking water, their hunger only got worse. Ever since Suing Shiwa got in the car, Shinjinga had been a bit hostile. Now, seeing her get a reward, her hostility grew even stronger, so she leaned against the railing and said in a sweet, coquettish voice, "Brother Nian, I'm hungry. I want sausage." Hearing this, I took out another sausage, a beauty acting cute is an ability. Then I said, don't worry, everyone. Perform well, and you'll get sausage. Suing Shua's brows furrowed, feeling the sausage wasn't special anymore. Around the same time we left, the prison van returned. I noticed Qin Shuriying and his group were still in the bus, so I pulled over. Hey, made up your mind? Coming with me or not? I rolled down the window and took a sip of bottled water as I spoke. After a day of torment, Qin Shuriying and the guy with glasses were mentally exhausted. They had nowhere to go, only waiting for death. Driven by a strong will to survive, Qin Shuriying might make a better decision. Her face turned pale. She hesitated, then gently grabbed the hand of the man with glasses. Can my husband come with me? I shook my head. Of course not. But if you're willing to come with me, I can give him 2 bottles of water and some bread. The guy with glasses turned red with anger. If it weren't for the gun in my hand, he would have cursed it, so he could only turn his anger toward Qin Shuriying instead. Why are you even paying attention to him? Are you really thinking about going, you woman? Believe it or not, I'll hit you. Seeing that I'd achieved my goal, I grinned and looked at Qin Shuriying. If you change your mind, just contact me anytime using Xingjiro's phone. With that, I stepped on the gas and sped away. It was clearly a prison, yet all the beautiful women were fighting to get in, even willing to get married, just to become obedient female inmates. All because the world's water supply was contaminated, and 99% of people who drank it turned into zombies. But I survived by working as a security guard in an abandoned prison building, and even activated the advanced prison system. As long as I recruit high-scoring beauties to become female inmates, I earn rewards. I led the 20-something female college students I brought back to the changing room. Like with Xingjiro, first they changed clothes, and we checked for wounds. The girls resisted, but after I said, if you don't cooperate, you'll have to leave, Shenjinga gritted her teeth and was first to accept inspection and change. Once there was a first, there was a second, until only 4 girls, including Suing Xue, were left. Seeing this, I didn't waste words and opened the door. I did this for everyone's safety, since you refused to comply. I assume you've been infected with the zombie virus. So now, please leave so you don't endanger everyone else. Suing Xue frowned. Nian, don't make it sound so high and mighty. We all know what you're really thinking. Besides, after being bitten by a zombie, you turned within 10 minutes. We've been on the bus for over an hour. If anyone had been bitten, they would have turned by now. How do you know there aren't exceptions? What if someone among you was bitten, didn't show symptoms at first, but turned in the middle of the night? Wouldn't that put everyone in danger? Suing Xue muttered resentfully. Why don't you get a female officer to do it? Sorry, this prison was just built. We don't have any female officers yet. At this point, I changed the subject. Let me make an official announcement. Nian Nian Women's Prison is now recruiting female guards. Anyone who meets the requirements can apply. The benefits are excellent. Hearing this, Suing Xue's eyes lit up. You're recruiting female guards, right? Fine, I'll sign up. I'll do the inspection for you. Hearing this, I smiled. Sure. The first requirement for applying as a guard is to pass the inspection yourself. Suing Xue was about to lose her temper. Zhang Xiaowen quickly pulled her back. Xue, let it go. Sometimes you just have to bow your head when you're under someone else's roof. If we have to change, then let's just change. In the end, Suing Xue had no choice but to grit her teeth and let Yan Xi on to the inspection. Half an hour later, everyone had changed into their new clothes. The system then bound the names of qualified female prisoners. Suing Xue attracted a score 93, daily reward, 93 Nian Nian coins. Obedience, improve. I frowned. This woman is hard to tame. Ding. Binding Shenjinga, attractiveness 90, daily reward, 90 Nian Nian coins, obedience 65. The notification sounded 26 times, collecting 2,265 Nian Nian coins. I was satisfied. At this pace, I'd buy a superpower in 2 days. Alright, now I'll take you all to tour the cell blocks. With a grand gesture, I led the way. First stop was Xingjiro's level 2 cell. I had already upgraded her cell. Xingjiro was drinking hot water and watching TV. Hearing the commotion, she quickly got up to greet us. But she suddenly noticed more than 20 beautiful women following Yan Ci. She felt the sky was falling. They had just been together this morning, so how could he bring back so many strange women? She felt extremely wronged, and her obedience level dropped 10 points. Seeing someone living inside, the other girls were surprised and started sizing up Xingjiro. This woman was beautiful, but she was older than all of them. Jiro, why don't you introduce the environment to our new inmates? My voice brought the women back to their senses. Xingjiro straightened her back. Nian Ci had called her Jiro, which rekindled her hope. She was the female prisoner. Without the advantage of youth, she had other strengths. She cleared her throat and said, "Everyone, look. This is our Nian Nian Women's Prison's Level 2 dormitory." I watched Xingjiro introduce the place with a smile. Alright, everyone has seen it, but this is a Level 2 dormitory. To live here, you need my approval. Now, I'll take you to your new place. The Level 1 dorms might be different, but don't worry, if you work hard, living in a Level 2 dorm isn't just a dream. The girls looked at each other confused, only Xingjiro understood Nian Ci. She felt excited, she knew better than anyone what Level 1 dorms were like. Nian Ci hadn't let these younger girls enjoy the same treatment, instead sending them to more basic dorms, which showed he cared for her. But she also picked up on something else. If they performed well, they might live with her, or even have better conditions. A sense of crisis welled up. Xingjiro secretly vowed she would never let anyone surpass her. Xingjiro's obedience reached 99 points during her vacation. As her feelings shifted, I got a notification. I didn't understand why Xingjiro's obedience level increased, but maybe today I could try to raise this girl's affection to 100. I patted her shoulder and said, "Jiro, you come along." Arriving at the Level 1 dorm, Shenjinga stared inside. She couldn't believe her eyes. The level 1 dorm was worlds apart from the level 2 dorm. Dim lighting, a simple squat toilet, this was a real prison. Without comparison, you wouldn't know how bad it could be. The girls exploded, "We don't want to live here." I chuckled, "Sure, but you'll go through a political review in my office first. If you pass, you can move to the level 2 dorm, or even level 3, 4, or better." Political review? Everyone looked confused, but they understood. Chinga was first to step forward. "Brother Nian, I think I can handle the review. At mealtime, have your secretary find me." I pointed at Jiro. Positions on her system panel, highest executive deputy warden. There were also positions like secretary, assistant, prison guard, administrator, and so on. Once there are more women, I can't possibly handle everything myself. So, I plan to find a secretary to help me with some management tasks. At this stage, Jiro was the most suitable choice. When Jiro suddenly heard she was going to be the secretary, she felt a sweet happiness inside. Ding! Jiro's obedience increased by 1, reaching 100. Nian B's basic reward is doubled, and starting tomorrow, the daily reward for female inmates will increase to the B187 model. Then, I opened the system and found the character tab. The first subcategory was deputy warden, the second position was secretary, and I chose Jiro. The system detected that Jiro's obedience had exceeded 90, and she was successfully bound as the warden's secretary. She quickly arranged for the female inmates to be placed in 2 rooms, then gave Jiro a pen, a notebook, and a dedicated walkie-talkie. Soon, it was 7 p.m., dinner time. At my command, the women were very happy, but their smiles quickly faded. The cafeteria was on the 10th floor, and only Jiro was allowed to take the elevator up. The others had to use the stairs because they didn't have the necessary clearance. Even though this was a prison, all the beautiful women were eager to get in, some even willing to pay tens of millions just to become an obedient inmate. This was all because the world's water sources had been contaminated, and 99% of people who drank the water turned into zombies. Meanwhile, I survived by working as a security guard in an abandoned prison building, and I activated the advanced prison system. As long as I take in high-scoring beauties as female inmates, I can earn rewards. At this moment, on the bus, a man with glasses recalled Nian Xi's smug face, and the more he thought about it, the angrier he got. He pulled out his phone and dialed a number. "Hello, who is this?" As soon as the call connected, the man with glasses, Wan Kuan, immediately put on a smile. "Brother Yong, it's Xiao Wan." "Xiao Wan? Is that the one with the pretty wife, the one whose name sounds like Yin?" Yes, that's her. Her name's Qin Shuri, and I'm her husband. I'm calling to tell you some news." He then spilled everything he knew about Nian Xi to the other person, especially emphasizing the busloads of beautiful women. Sitting next to him, Qin Shuri overheard the call. The more he listened, the more alarmed he became. Brother Young, he knew, was a ruthless killer, not just a manager at Chongqing Group. Last time, Wan Kuan brought Qin Shuri along. Brother Young instantly wanted her to spend a night with him. If she agreed, the deal would go through without payment. Wan Kuan didn't dare offend him, so he said he'd discuss it, barely escaping. If not for the apocalypse, Qin Shuri wouldn't have escaped his clutches. She never expected Wan Kuan to call Bald Young. Seeing her husband's fawning smile, she felt a chill. Someone from Chongqing Group was coming for her. He knew Bald Young was 10 times more vicious than the warden inside. The warden was reasonable. He provided safety, food, water, and even helped expand Rufa's circle of friends. Living conditions and food were good. Qin Shuri's face was full of worry. Meanwhile, in the prison cafeteria, Zheng Jiro ate bread and instant noodles, while other women had steamed buns and bottled water. I could provide better meals, but I understand not giving everything away at once. The aroma of instant noodles filled the hall. Shenqinga sniffed, tossed her bun, and walked to Zheng Jiro. "Sister Zheng, sign up with you." Zheng Jiro nodded, uncomfortable but hid it. "Want to sign up? I'll put your name down." She took out a notebook. "What's your name?" "Shenqinga." Once someone led, other girls followed. 2 bolder ones ran to Zheng Jiro's table. "Sister, write my name too." As Zheng Jiro wrote, tears streamed down her face. Nian Xi, I thought, he's my man, so why do I have to help him with this kind of thing? She wanted to throw the pen down but didn't dare. After dinner, girls went downstairs to rest, but the 6 girls led by Shenqinga stayed. They listened to Shenqinga in the cafeteria for news. Zheng Jiro sighed, "There's no point waiting here. I report upstairs. Go back to the dorm, and I'll let you know." She said this for her reasons. Shenqinga was disappointed, but he agreed and left after everyone else. Zheng Jiro went to her room to wash up, then went upstairs. At that moment, I was sitting in my office chair, grinning as I watched the surveillance footage. When I saw Zheng Jiro finish washing up, I knew what she was planning. "So, should I call you Warden, or should I use your name?" As she walked in, Zheng Jiro asked, blushing. I chuckled, "If you're my secretary, then call me Warden. Call me Nian Xi. Nian Xi, I want to call you Nian Xi." Zheng Jiro strode to me. 20 minutes later. Zheng Jiro, exhausted, opened her notebook and said, "Still women in line. You figure it out." I heard dissatisfaction in her tone. I took out the tablet I just bought, 50 years currency, and a standard urban white-collar outfit, which cost 5 years currency. "You did well. This is your reward. As my secretary, wear this dress when working. And here's this tablet, use it to manage things." When Zheng Jiro saw it, she was overjoyed. This was recognition of her status, something she hoped for. "Shenqinga, those women will be living with me soon. With these things, I'll be ahead of them." She leaned, gave me a big kiss. "Thank you." She didn't hesitate, changed into the clothes. "I'll call the next person." Zheng Jiero spun twice, obediently spoke. I sighed. All women have Stockholm Syndrome. Soon, Shenchinga was brought upstairs by Zheng Jiero. Anyone willing to come up had mentally prepared themselves. An hour later, after the interview, I sat in my chair feeling refreshed. Jinga stood holding a cup of tea. Soon, I'll have Zheng Jiero take you to the secondary dormitory. Hearing this, Shenchinga's face lit up. She could finally enjoy a hot shower. I didn't call anyone else because I was tired, and to keep them wanting more. The women knew that Wu's name registered, the background check happened. That night, I lay in bed, deciding my next target. Today's rewards have been distributed, 2,470 annual coins, balance 7,910. As I added gentle touches, Shenchinga's score increased, and annual coins went up. At this rate, I'll awaken my superpower by tomorrow. Anticipating my ability, I drifted off to sleep. But at that moment, just 15 kilometers away at Changshan Group headquarters, a Land Rover with 5 vans headed toward the prison. It took 4 hours to cover 15 kilometers, and it wasn't until dawn that Chilling and his group arrived in front of Wan Kuen's bus. Soon, people got out of vehicles, efficiently clearing nearby zombies. Seeing this, Wan Kuen happily waved from inside the bus toward the window. Yong Ji, I'm over here. Help! Qin Shiying's hopes hit rock bottom. She thought the outside world was too dangerous for Changshan Group, but they showed up. The car door opened and Bald Yong got on. Yong Ji, I'm Xiao Wan, I knew it was you. Alright, tell me, what's going on in prison? Wan Kuen took out his phone, scrolling through Zheng Jiero's moments. Look, Yong Ji, inside prison, food, drinks, and beautiful women. Bald Yong turned his head. Huang Mao, bring our brothers. Let brother Wan lead the way in and take a look. Okay, Yong Ji. Wan Kuen almost burst into tears when he heard this. Yong Ji, please don't make me go in, I'll just wait outside. You think that's possible? Kid, you're the one who gave us the info, who knows if you're hiding something. You have to go. As for this beautiful lady, I'll just stay here and protect her. Bald Yong licked his lips. Hearing this, Wan Kuen wiped sweat from his forehead. Qin Shiying wanted to call for help again, but Wan Kuen interrupted her. Honey, wait here for me. I'll help Yong Ji take care of that guy and come back to get you. With that, he hurriedly got out of the car. Soon, only Bald Yong and Qin Shiying were left in the car. Meanwhile, I was woken by the system's voice, detecting strangers approaching the prison. I snapped awake, quickly turning on surveillance cameras. 5 or 6 people were at the entrance, each holding a weapon. The leader, a guy with yellow hair, even had a gun. I immediately drew my pistol and slowly walked out. Since these people knew the prison's location, I couldn't let any go. Strangers have entered the courtyard, the system reminded me, and I frowned. 2 or 3 had climbed over the courtyard wall. I quietly moved to the window, the small side window by the main entrance. According to surveillance, they would pass by here. Soon, I heard footsteps. When enemies got close, I aimed at their heads and fired. 2 seconds, my magazine was empty, and the squad was wiped out. Outside, the yellow-haired guy heard gunshots and sprang into action, ordering his men to smash the iron gate. As they stepped through the entrance, I gripped my gun and unleashed at the iron gate. Riddled with bullets, the yellow-haired guy reacted, retreating, then fired. I'll cover you guys, charge in and kill him. The remaining few rushed into the building. I stuck my gun out from behind the wall, gauged their positions, and started shooting, scattering the group fleeing. No matter how fast they ran, they couldn't outrun the surveillance. Watching their positions, I began picking them off one by one. I spotted the yellow-haired guy in the bushes. I fired a shot and took him out. After I killed 8 or 9 of them. System notifications hadn't stopped, meaning survivors were in the courtyard. I searched and found someone at the building's outer wall. He looked familiar. So here he was. Following guidance, I walked over, and it was Qin Shiying's husband, Wan Kuen. This guy had been with the yellow-haired one, but seeing dead bodies, he fainted. I kicked him. Wan Kuen slowly came to, and seeing my face, he was scared. Don't shoot, don't shoot. You told these people where I was, didn't you? No, it wasn't me. I pressed the gun to his forehead and asked, was it you? Yes, it was me. Don't kill me. Wan Kuen, scared, burst into tears. Who are they? Changshan Group. Under threat, Wan Kuen spilled everything. I listened. Changshan Group looking for us meant more would find the prison. How many came? Don't know, only their leader is Baldy Yong, he's on the bus outside. Baldy Yong, I frowned. He had to be taken out. I shot a menacing look at Wan Kuen, and he shivered, don't kill me. I offered my wife, smirking, whether you die or not, she's coming with me. I then shot him. No one knowing the prison's location could live. I checked surveillance, then opened the gate, heading to the bus. Inside, Baldy Yong was assaulting Qin Shiying. She struggled, but he was too strong. I crept closer. 2 guards stood outside. I raised my gun and fired. After the faint sound of gunfire, the 2 guards at the door collapsed. As I walked under the bus, Baldy Yong was unaware, laughing loudly. Once I confirmed no one else around Qin Shiying, I kicked open the bus door. Baldy Yong, among the weeds, suddenly choked when he saw me. I wasn't one of his men. Who are you? Where are my people? Baldy Yong glared, darting toward the ground outside the bus, but he didn't see his man. He started to panic. Weren't you going to kill me? Well, here I am. Baldy Yong's eyes flickered. You're that warden, aren't you? I didn't answer. Instead, I shot him dead. Then, with a smile, I turned to Qin Shiying. Alright, the world is finally quiet. Your husband betrayed me, I'm sure you know my business. Despite all that, I saved you, didn't I? You should be dead, but I'm kind, so you can go. I pointed to the bus door. Qin Shiying realized if he left now, he'd be worse than Baldion. The balance in his heart shifted. Does your prison still want me? Qin Shiying asked softly. I'm not one to force people. I'm not being forced, I'm going in willingly. In that case, I'll take you in. But, once you're inside, you have to follow the rules. Qin Shiying nodded in agreement. He had already figured it out. At Nian Xi's place, there was food and drink, and it was the only place he could survive. After bringing Qin Shiying back, it was already 5:30 in the morning. I called Zheng Jiro downstairs and specifically told her to wear a uniform. When the two old acquaintances met, they naturally exchanged some pleasantries. Qin Shiying glanced at Zheng Jiro's outfit, his face turning red. Jiro, this outfit. Sister Qin, this is our standard uniform here. In a bit, you'll have to change into one too. She said it firmly, not giving the other party any chance to object. Even though they were old friends, the rules couldn't be bent. Qin Shiying felt embarrassed, but seeing that Zheng Jiro was dressed the same way, he couldn't say much more. After that, things were straightforward, just needed to check if Qin Shiying had any wounds on him. It's a prison, yet beautiful women fight to get in, even paying millions for the chance. All to become obedient female inmates. This started because 99% of people who drank contaminated water turned into zombies. I survived by working as a security guard in an abandoned prison, activating the advanced prison system. Recruiting high-scoring beauties as inmates earns rewards. After turning Qin Shiying into an inmate, I gathered all women, lining them in 2 rows. Zheng Jiro and Chenqinga from level 2 in front, others from level 1 behind. Last night, dozens of Karami came armed to seize our prison, but I killed them all and saved your lives. If not for me, you'd been taken by that gang or ended up as corpses. The warden is wise. Chenqinga raised her voice, waving her arm and shouting, and female students caught on and joined in, cheering, "Long live the warden! Long live the female warden!" I watched the women below, some were sincere, while others were going through motions. I noted their obedience. I've handled the hard work. Now, you need to do something simple, carry out the corpses. Carry the bodies. At these words, the women's faces changed. Now I'll assign tasks. Zheng Jiro, when she heard me call her name, she straightened her back and shouted, while sneaking a glance at Chenqinga beside her. That sudden slogan from Chenqinga had caught her off guard and made her feel threatened. Zheng Jiro admired how quick-witted her rival was, while also regretting not thinking of it. So, when she heard me call her name, she immediately put on her energetic attitude. You're in charge of supervision. Once the work is done, keep clear records of who performs well and who doesn't. I want to see it. Zheng Jiro was pleased. She supervised, so everyone listened. Chenqinga's voice was even louder. I pointed out 6 more people, all first to shout the slogan and officially signed up. Yesterday, I lost 5 magazines. The 7 of you are responsible for finding them. Understand? Understood. This time, the 7 women answered in unison, loud and clear. 7 people to find 5 magazines, the rest waited. This job is easy. The most important thing is, they don't have to deal with corpses, and as for what these 7 people have done, they know very well themselves. Especially Chenqinga, she was out for over an hour yesterday, and when she came back, she moved into the high-end cell. Alright, everyone, get to work. I was up all night last night, too tired from dealing with the bad guys, so I'm going to rest for a bit. After saying that, I turned and went back to my room. Among the crowd, the 2 most disappointed people were Suing Xue and Qin Shiying. Suing Xue had thought that, as the campus BB, she'd surely get some special treatment. Even if she wasn't made a supervisor, at the very least she'd get a relatively easy job, right? But from yesterday to today, she could see that Nian Xi had no intention of giving her any special treatment at all. Could it be that, aside from going to keep the company, there really is no other way to turn things around? Suing Xue secretly ground her teeth in frustration. Qin Shiying, before she came here, was the center of attention, but here she was one of the crowd. Looking at the girls, everyone was younger. Most crucial, Nian Xi, who had promised to protect her, was now sending her to move corpses. But I didn't bother with that and went back to my room, planning to catch up on sleep. I slept straight through until 9 o'clock, then got up refreshed. Today's task was to pick up the girls yesterday, over 30 in total. That's fortune. The one I contacted most was Yan Yu, a top 3 campus beauty, as famous as Suing Xue. Thinking this, I called Zheng Jiro to report. All 5 magazines found, but only 8 corpses moved. The girls were throwing up so much even pregnant women would be envious. This was expected. Having these pampered girls do this was tough. Society changed. If you can't adapt, you'll be eliminated. Frankly, I'm helping them adapt to the apocalypse quickly. Compared to fighting, this is the easiest job. That's it for this morning. In the afternoon, I had them continue with taking showers, then eating, where to shower, that is. Zheng Jiro only knew there was a shower in her own dorm, but she didn't want others to use it. I opened the system and found the bathhouse section. The level 1 bathhouse could be unlocked for 1,000 points, which included hot water, body wash, shampoo, and other toiletries. Seeing this, I immediately clicked to unlock it. Then I divided everyone who needed to shower into 3 groups. The first group was Zheng Jiro, Chenqinga, and me. The second group was led by Yilu Shuangshuang and included the 6 girls who had signed up for the political review, plus He Mengmeng and Qin Shiying, and of course, me as well. He Mengmeng was the bravest of them all. It was said that while others were throwing up, she moved the 8th corpse. Someone like that deserves a reward. Qin Shiying had a different arrangement. The third group was everyone else who needed to shower. I'll skip describing the shower scene. As soon as we finished, I told everyone in the second group, go find Zheng Jiro and switch rooms. He Mingming's face turned red as a monkey's butt, and she didn't dare to look up. Su Xiue quietly left, disappointed. Among the four, He Mengmeng was closest to her, and she hadn't expected her to give in. While everyone ate, I called Qin Shiying into the office. As a married woman, you should know how to cook, right? I'd wanted to ask this for a while, but to become cook, you need culinary skills and compliance score above 90. Thanks to my efforts, Qin Shiying met requirement. Hearing my question, Qin Shiying was delighted. She knew Zheng Jiro was only woman in secretary's building, not prisoner, and now she was about to become second. She looked at me, nodded, promising she would. Alright then, I hereby appoint you as cook of Nian Nian Women's Prison. Here are the chef's clothes, go ahead and change into them. Thank you, Warden. Qin Shiying happily took the clothes and quickly changed, afraid that I might take them back. Seeing this, I smiled in satisfaction. At the same time, I pulled up the character panel in the system. Prison cook found, Qin Shiying, age 30, compliance score 93, provides Nian Nian coins daily, amount 108, all selected personally by the warden. I unlocked the elevator and cafeteria for her, so now she can enter even outside of meal times. After Qin Shiying left, I called Shen Jinga and He Mengmeng into the office and had them change back into their original clothes. Shen Jinga from Art Contacts Girls. He Mengmeng, boldest of 28 women, handles fighting beasts. After planning route, I took them to garage. On way, we ran into Su Xiue, working. She just moved corpse, trying not to throw up. Seeing this, I smiled. Su Xie's body trembled, but she pretended unfazed. Hello, Warden. She's learned lesson, even if she doesn't want political screening, she knows to be polite. You can drive, right? Driven this car before. As I spoke, I jingled the prison van keys. Su Xiue hadn't driven one, but didn't want to miss this chance. I haven't driven this vehicle, but I have a year of driving experience. Seasoned drivers say I have a knack. I nodded, then you'll be the driver. No other work. Su Xiue almost jumped for joy, but scoffed at my words. You say you don't care, but you're trying to please me. Warden, you're just a simp for pretty girls. She reached for the keys, but I pulled my hand back and turned to Zheng Jiro with a serious look. By the way, has Su Xiue passed the political screening? Zheng Jiro was momentarily stunned, didn't I know whether she passed or not. But she quickly caught on and replied, please wait a moment, I'll check. She pulled out her tablet and started tapping away, then responded just as seriously, reporting to the warden, female inmate Su Xiue has not yet passed the political screening. I let out an oh, pulled my hand with the keys back again, and shook my head. What a pity, I'll have to drive myself again. Hopefully, I can find a driver on this trip today, someone who can help ease the warden's burdens. With that, I strode off, leaving Su Xiue staring after me in surprise.
Enjoyed the laugh? Then hit that subscribe button now. Chino Tunes, where Chinese cartoon parodies get wild and hilarious.